Welcome to this week's Character Unlock, where we are going to spend a little bit of time talking our E3 2017 predictions, our wants, our don't wants, our habits. We're just going to be talking a little bit about the upcoming advert marketing masturbatory awfulness that is E3 every year, and this year is going to be no different, I am sure. I'm Andrew Brooker, hosting this week, and joining me is my good buddy John Miller. How are you, mate?
Not too bad. Kind of regretting the whole fact that you said masturbatory.
Masturbatory is a good word.
It's a great word, just not when I'm talking to you.
I'm not saying I'm doing it. I'm just just used the word because it perfectly describes E3 99.9% of the time.
I guess.
What word would you have preferred I used? Exactly.
Anything. Any words. All of the words. Just pull a dictionary out and use every single one of them.
Masturbatory is definitely in the dictionary. I will get to it eventually.
I suppose.
It is. It's in the M somewhere. Masturbatory.
It's hardly going to be at the fucking P's now, is it?
It's the bit with the sticky pages.
I know that's definitely the P's, is the sticky pages.
Going through the dictionary looking for the rude words. Like a 12-year-old.
That's the whole point. That's the whole point of the translation dictionaries as well.
Exactly.
Just so you can find which word is shit in the dictionary in French,
exactly.
Spanish, and or German.
It's the only reason any of us owned those books.
It's the only reason they managed to sell them.
My coffee appears to be leaking all over me.
As long as it's coffee that's leaking on you and not other things.
Masturbatory.
Yep.
Okay, there's fucking coffee everywhere. I'm just going to have to take the top off of my fucked up coffee mug. Use my daughter's towel. It's just coffee, sweetheart, I promise. Alright, I'm going to put that there. Get the manky top off of this thing. That's why the rubbers come off my flask.
Ah.
Well, I tried to be clever every time we record this, because I kept making cups of coffee before we started recording, and then by the time we actually got to recording, I was out of coffee. So now I make myself a cup of coffee and stick it in my Keep Warm flask that I use for work. And now it's broken. And now I just have a metal tube filled with coffee and no lid.
Oh.
Now I'm sad.
I have to get a new one.
Oh, fuck's sake. Anyway. So this week, mate, we're recording Tuesday.
Yes.
The episode will go out on Friday.
Yep.
So, as this episode goes out tomorrow, will be the start of E3 2017. And when we say the start of E3 2017, so traditionally E3 is usually Tuesday to Thursday or Tuesday to Friday, but the days preceding that we have all the press conferences from the big companies, EA, Sony, Microsoft, blah, 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 blah. Usually it goes Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, but this year, for God knows what reason, they're spreading it out. So EA have their conference tomorrow as the episode goes up, Saturday.
Yep.
And the whole thing will be going on until, what did we say? The last conference was 5-6 o'clock Tuesday evening, which was Nintendo's E3 Direct thing. So 4 days, more or less, of press conferences.
Spotlight. Sorry, I just noticed Nintendo Spotlight.
Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. The Nintendo Spotlight.
Yes.
Cool. So that 4 days, more or less, of press conferences and nonsense, which for me, I don't know about you, but for me, for years, has been just me sitting in front of the television with whatever device I can put on the television to show me whatever website is streaming the conferences this year. And pretty much the one time of year I actually become a proper gaming hermit.
I'd probably go with I'm actually the opposite. I don't think I've ever taken time off work specifically for E3, and as we used to work in the same office, while you were off, I would have to go into work because we could never have time off at the same time, and I would sit there and watch the conferences instead of doing my job.
Yep. Yeah. See, no, I couldn't go into work. I couldn't, because I spend far too much time on places like Facebook and Twitter. It would be absolutely pointless watching the conferences after the fact, because everything would have already been spoilt for me. Although this is probably something we'll talk about in a little while, because everybody seems to be spoiling their own conferences this year.
Well, it's they do it. Everyone spoils their own conferences every year, but there's always at least one or two surprises that aren't leaked. I think for the most part, a lot of the leaks are just so they don't have to spend as much time with the certain things.
Yeah, but so yeah, I mean, do you have rituals? Do you do anything for the conferences that you do get to watch live, or even when you're watching them at work?
Well, suppose normally I'd have the Microsoft conference live, but considering this year it's at 10 p.m., I don't think I would have normally watched that live any other year. But seeing as I have time off now to
Yeah,
watch, I will be watching it live. But my usual ritual, I guess, watch what's going on. After finding going through 50 different websites all saying come here to watch the conference live, and you go onto it, and they've stolen the feed off of another website.
yeah, yeah. That was always the big one, wasn't it? That was, if you went on to GameSpot used to be my one. I used to go to GameSpot for the E3 conferences, and then Game Trailers because love him. You know, as much as people like to rag on him, I like the show that Jeff Keighley puts on every year for E3. Less him and more the effort that him and the people that work for and around him put into getting guests on.
Yeah, it's IGN always have their IGN cast,
Yeah,
but then they kind of have their own stupid little overlay that they put on, and pre-show and post-show, and some random YouTuber just sitting there playing a game that's mentioned or something.
yeah,
So, but then I took to Twitch stream because with the most recent generation of consoles, with the Twitch app being made available, you could watch the Microsoft conference on your Twitch, and then mysteriously it wouldn't work while the PlayStation one was available.
yeah. That was a weird one. Wonder why
Yeah,
that was.
can't think of a possible reason.
I have to admit, I did give up with that, and probably for me the best invention of the last couple of years, and I can't believe I'm saying it, is YouTube gaming. The whole gaming front end, the gaming UI for YouTube, they put effort in and have done the last 2 years, and it looks like they are this year as well. Again, that's where Jeff Keighley goes now that Game Trailers isn't a thing anymore. But they put effort in with their coverage. It's YouTube. How often does YouTube actually go down? How often can YouTube not handle the strain of the shows that it's putting on?
Considering YouTube managed to handle the 4K Champions League final for free
Yeah,
last Saturday, so yeah,
this is it. I've seen YouTube go down once, and that was when Slipknot released the video to the negative one, and I saw that take down YouTube mainly because I was trying to get on it on several devices because of Slipknot.
are you sure that just wasn't your internet dying?
No, because I was at work.
Are you sure it wasn't the work internet dying?
Definitely not, because everything else worked perfectly. But yeah, that was, I have a lot of time for YouTube as a platform for E3 because like last couple of years I've watched it and I don't think I've had an issue. Like you could tell with game trailers and GameSpot when you'd watch them, and 10 minutes before the show started, everything started going a bit laggy, and then once the show actually started, sometimes you wouldn't be able to see a thing, or you'd be 2 minutes behind everybody else, which when you're trying to live tweet the show at the same time, you look like a complete fool because it just looks like you're getting all your E3 information off of other people's Twitter feeds.
Or you're sitting there watching the video and there's a guy in the chat window on the right hand side and he's just started chatting bollocks and saying, "Oh my god, I can't believe they just announced Halo 72." And it's like, well, hang on, I'm still watching about FIFA right now.
Yeah. So YouTube hasn't had a problem with that the last couple of years, and so I'll probably stick with that. And obviously, if Xbox Live goes down, I can get to it through the Apple TV, the PlayStation, my Blu-ray player. I've got so many ways of watching it without having the hassle of attaching my laptop to the TV or anything, which I used to do. Dude, the first couple of years I watched E3 was a massively long VGA cable into a splitter, into the back of my TV, into a separate sound system that I would run an extension cable for the volume control over to my sofa. I mean, it was an elaborate mess of shit. Just there was so much crap trailing across my living room when I wanted to watch E3, even like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah. And now you could probably just say, Alexa, play E3.
Yeah. Well, now, I mean, I don't even, assuming I can watch it all on my Xbox, I don't even need to turn the Xbox controller on because I can do it all with my Xbox Media Controller, which just switches off if you're not touching it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's lovely.
I might just watch it through my TV because I'm pretty sure my TV has a YouTube app.
Perfect. Perfect.
So just need to find that remote control because I can't remember where I put it. I don't need that TV remote. The only thing that my TV actually does that requires a remote is to turn it on and put it into standby mode, because I have my Sky remote, which again is capable of doing that, and my volume is controlled to a soundbar.
Nice. Very nice. So yeah, that's pretty much I get a bunch of shit in. Like I get a load of good coffee, load of Lucozade, load of Barocca. I don't drink that much, so I don't do. You know when you see people's Super Bowl parties and shit, and there's just piles and piles of beer.
Yeah.
No, I don't want that. I need stuff to keep me awake and stuff to eat when I start flagging. So like cans of Pringles and packets of biscuits.
So not Mountain Dew and Doritos.
No, I like Jeff Keighley, but not that much. But yeah, I mean, I'll take a picture of it I'll add it onto the list of pictures I do for the Twitter and Facebook posts for the podcast. Literally, it's just a fuckload of really good coffee and Barocca and Lucozade.
Pink lemonade Lucozade.
Yep, the zero one. It's delicious. And a lot of chocolate hobnobs.
Yeah, hobnobs.
Exactly. But enough dicking around. Let's, I suppose, start talking about the shows that are upcoming. So first off, we have on Saturday, so 8 o'clock, I think, our time.
8 our time, 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern.
Yeah.
I think.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So 8 o'clock our time is the EA Play conference, I suppose you could call it. Yeah. This is EA's second year doing EA Play. And it's EA refusing to go to E3 because they don't have a stand at E3 anymore. They didn't last year and they won't this year. So they will have stuff elsewhere. Like last year they had an LA and a London stage and stuff set up. So after they announced Battlefield 1...
God, I remember that.
Yeah.
The fucking London stage where all they did was just put FIFA on it because they probably couldn't get a visa for that black guy.
That massive cunt who is now going to be the CEO of Liverpool or something? Peter Moore?
Peter Moore, I guess? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure that's his name. And I'm pretty sure he's off to be the CEO of a football club because apparently years of dicking over FIFA players makes him qualified for that.
Better qualifications than some of the people who are...
This is true. So yes, EA Play, the hilariously brilliant way that EA avoid going to E3, but don't want to do it any other time. Must do it E3 week because they don't want to miss out on any of the hype. Fucking arseholes. So we will have the usual plethora of stuff from EA. What do you reckon, mate? What do we see at the EA conference?
Okay, so what I'm thinking is a new Star Wars game, not just Battlefront. I'm probably their that MMO they teased. I think was it either last year or the year before.
So that
not MMO, the open world game they've got.
Okay.
In the works.
So we're not thinking a revival of 1313.
No, I think this is a spiritual successor to 1313. I don't think 1313 will happen, not in a while, but be interesting if the guys from Dead Space did actually make a Star Wars game. No, I'm thinking it's there was an open world game that they half teased a while ago.
Okay.
I can't remember what it was called.
I am definitely 100% not Googling it while you talk. Apparently it's being made by Visceral. So the Dead Space guys.
Okay, maybe it is by the Visceral guys.
So I'm on a Games Radar page. It's called Untitled Visceral Star Wars Game.
All right.
And apparently Kim Swift has joined the team. That was the last update, March 27th. Kim Swift, who made Portal and Conundrum,
something like that.
The other puzzle game that wasn't Portal that definitely was Portal.
Yeah. Well, no, it's just that
it was the concept thing that they showed in their little sizzle reel last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it
of
was
the guy in a
the
doorway.
yeah. Scott Warner left Visceral for Oculus, so that's why I was thinking it was kind of half canned
Okay.
because
No,
he was supposed to be the lead dev or something.
yeah. No, I'm having a quick browse of this page, and yeah, I do. I remember this being shown in the sizzle reel from last year. And yeah, I remember Visceral's name coming up. I remember this. Okay, so yeah, maybe we get to see a little bit more of that. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Um, what else? Obviously the usual first looks of FIFA and Madden.
New grass.
New grass, new sweat that you can see on the players after they've run around for a bit.
Mmm.
Um,
Nothing says realism in your Madden game like a little ass crack sweat. A little wet V in their bum as you sit and watch them kick off.
exactly. But well, I suppose it's already been confirmed the next Need for Speed entry.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about a little bit with like people or these companies ruining their own surprises. Now, we're not, I'm not stupid. We've had E3 leaks for years, but this year companies seem to be taking a special interest in ruining their own press conferences. We've had FIFA 18 announced, haven't we? That was announced yesterday, day before. I mean,
Yeah.
not like it's news because it's FIFA. We all know FIFA's coming, but they've announced it formally, which usually wouldn't happen until their E3 presser. We've
Which
had
means that they've got something else planned for the FIFA E3 presser that doesn't involve announcing that Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be on the cover
yeah.
and that icons are replacing legends and they're going multi-plat, not just Xbox exclusive.
Oh, good. They're showing off the first Battlefront 2 multiplayer stuff.
Yeah.
Today, as the podcast goes out, so on Friday, so that's the day before their conference. They're showing that the Battlefront's more or less confirmed for the back end of the year. So I don't think we get another Battlefield, or even a Battlefield hint, which would be weird actually. To not have Battlefield at E3 would be strange.
Yeah, I imagine there's probably going to be a Battlefield announcement.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and obviously we've just 2 days ago we had, or Friday, we had Need for Speed Revenge or
Revengeance.
Revengeance. I forgot what it was called. There's something like that. Need for Speed. Got to get my own back because I'm a whingy little bitch. I don't know. It looks stupid. It looks like it's trying to inject another story into a racing game. It looks crap.
Yeah.
Not that interested, but I'll play my 10 hours on EA Access.
I think they've knocked it down to 6 probably. I think 6 seems to be the new default that they're offering out. I think not many games are getting 10
Okay.
anymore.
So what do you think? Do you think maybe we get a DLC heavy
Maybe.
EA presser? Mass Effect DLC?
Maybe, but I think Mass Effect might actually be getting dropped by EA.
Really?
Yeah, I think because after the last iteration didn't actually do too well, I think it's been put onto a hiatus.
Oh wow. Okay. Because
Dragon
BioWare
Age.
have got another IP coming, haven't they?
Yeah, there'll be probably a Dragon Age announcement for a Dragon Age 4.
Okay.
I
do kind of want to point out, not just to you, but to like anybody listening, like I said earlier, I've purposefully ignored rumour and news sites for the last few days, trying desperately to avoid stuff like this. So if somebody did in fact announce Dragon Age 4 yesterday, I do not know about it.
I don't know.
What I don't want is to people to go, well, of course there's a Dragon Age 4 thing. It was announced 4 weeks ago. Well, I didn't hear it, so it's still new. Fuck you.
I'm trying to remember what the code name for that new BioWare game that they're working on, their little light MMO.
Oh, okay. Oh,
the one that's supposed to be a Destiny and Division beta.
Is this the one they announced before? I can't. Oh shit! And it looked really cool. And then they said it was a 4-player or 4-on-4 MMO or something. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a rival to Destiny and what the Division was in terms of MMO, but tiny scale. So it's not a MMO, it's an LMO for light.
Okay, fair enough. So maybe possibly a Battlefield announcement. That'd be nice. I'm not sure it would happen.
Probably get more Battlefront 2 shit.
Yeah, I think we'll get Battlefront 2 pushed a lot, and
Oh,
I
I think
think.
Battlefront 2 is playable.
Oh, okay,
I think they're making it. That's one of their playable games.
that's kind of cool. So, do you
So
think a lot of Battlefront 2 with the visceral Star Wars game kind of stuck on the end? Don't forget
yeah,
this is coming; it will be out next year.
we might end up with a fairly Star Wars heavy EA platform. I think there'll
Okay,
probably be one or two. There'll be at least two Star Wars games being shown off.
okay. So, what about something completely out there that you would like to see?
Completely out there.
Something that's never ever going to happen, but you would absolutely love for it to happen.
um, I don't know. In
If you say
terms of,
Mass Effect 5, I'm terminating the call straight away.
I wouldn't say Mass Effect 5, mainly because we haven't really had Mass Effect 4 technically.
Fair enough.
Uh, I don't know. Maybe I tell you what, completely out there, a continuation of the Shepard saga
Okay,
for Mass Effect would actually be quite out there. I think.
fair enough. I think my only out there thing, and I don't think it's quite as out there as another Mass Effect game, but I would love, considering it's been out a while, I would love for them to announce that Battlefield 1 is on the Vault for EA Access from tonight.
Yeah.
That that I would really like.
Battlefield 1 isn't already on it?
No, because it's only had two lots of DLC out, mate. It's still got more DLC
Oh,
to come. It's going
yeah,
to
I
be a
suppose.
while. I do think we'll get their next DLC either announced or played, like in front of us.
Yeah.
Not that it will mean an awful lot because I haven't played any battle. I played like a couple of hours of my trial and that's it. But I'm desperate to buy. I'm desperate to play Battlefield 1, and every time their deluxe edition goes on sale from £109 to 60, and then with my EA access it goes down even further, I'm always tempted to buy it. And to be fair, this time around the offer ended the day before payday. If it had ended one day later, I definitely would have bought it.
I tell you what, here's your out there thing,
Go on, Em.
right? EA access to go on to PlayStation.
Core, that is out there.
Hmm. I think I think the amount of money that Microsoft are picking up from people buying shit on EA access, Sony are definitely rubbing their hands together, going, you know what, we fucked up.
We need a bit of that.
We need to get onto that cash.
So, so that's Saturday night. We get a full 24 hours after that till the next one. So after EA, we move on to Microsoft, and Microsoft is our time 10 o'clock Sunday night.
Yep, 10 p.m.
Now this, I think, is the big one. Microsoft usually is quite interesting. They've had a couple of disappointing years, but when they're good, they're really good. And obviously this year, I think is going to be really Scorpio heavy.
Yeah,
I mean, for obvious reasons, because last year they formally announced the Scorpio, but told us fuck all about it after that. And we've had drips and drabs and slight bits of information, and we know a little bit about the Scorpio, but this will be, they're planning on releasing it holiday this year. So, a mid-June press conference would be the perfect time to show it off.
yeah,
So, I think we're going to be very heavy on Scorpio, and I think we're going to be very heavy on games both new and old, all labelled coming to Scorpio, or whatever they decide to call it, because it is, in fairness, it is Project Scorpio. It's a code name, so whatever they decide to call it, the Xbox One, 2.
Well, Microsoft very recently trademarked a design pattern of an S symbol,
Okay,
where it's two C's kind of. It's like it's an S but with a diagonal strike going through it in clear.
so
So
that
it looks
would be
like
Scorpio.
two C's. Yeah.
Okay,
It looks like two C's on one on top of the other, just flipped around.
wow. Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, I think it was yesterday or possibly this morning
Okay,
that one came forward, that they showed that a little off. But
alright. I mean, we will definitely see the hardware. We'll definitely see what it looks like. Even if they don't have it on screen, they will show us digital mock-ups of what we will be buying.
yeah,
Think it keeps the frame rate counter?
maybe, probably.
God, I hope not. I, console players are twats enough as they are. We don't need people having frame rate counters in front of them screaming about. That's what they definitely need, to be staring at numbers fluctuating between 28 and 30 instead of playing the games they're supposed to be playing.
Well, some games already have things similar to that. I know that Rainbow Six Siege offers you your network settings and speeds,
Okay.
your ping settings and everything like that in real time, so you can actually have that as like an overlay in
Okay.
the bottom left corner of your screen. So yeah, it works kind of okay, but you find yourself staring at that instead of the middle of the screen where your gun's aiming occasionally.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's the exact same problem that any HUD has, where it takes away from what you're looking at on the screen. But this time, if you're looking down, I mean, I don't know what your setup's like, but for me, there's a good 3 foot between my TV and my Xbox. So literally, I would have to look away from the TV to read the frame rate counter. Which is absolutely fucking ridiculous. But what about some games? What games do you reckon we see with Microsoft?
Um, in probably they will show off one of the big third-party companies. I think one of the big third parties that they actually have a hold with. So probably more from Square.
Okay.
So
What
the new
about
the new Tomb Raider game that they've got? No, wait,
Tomb Raider?
Avengers.
Yeah, there's an
The
Avengers game coming, isn't
the
there?
Avengers game coming because Square have an interesting partnership with Xbox
Yeah.
for
Okay.
certain things compared to others, which is Square have a weird. We have strong ties to both console companies.
Yeah.
There's like one has.
I think
a
a lot of
tie
those they kind of sell rights and exclusivity to IP and title rather than
Yeah,
just everything from Square or everything from EA.
I guess it depends on the game. So the Japanese and RPG type games will go to Sony because they've got a bigger market, whereas the very Americanized Tomb Raider, Hitman,
Yeah.
and probably the Avengers game will probably go to Microsoft.
Yeah. And talking of Japanese games, so I over the last couple of days I've repeatedly been putting a call out on social media for people to give us their thoughts on what's coming for E3, what they'd like to see, and our good buddy Jack, who has been on the podcast with us in the past, has suggested or said that he hoped would really like to see the return of Scalebound, the Platinum Games game that was cancelled recently.
That ain't happening, bro.
Well, no, I kind of thought that as well. I mean that for me definitely sits in that's an out here kind of hope. I mean, I suppose there's a small possibility of them going, yes, we've brought back Scalebound and Platinum have nearly finished it and it's going to be on Scorpio exclusively, but I think I'm more likely to release a game on Scorpio than that ever happen.
Yeah, Scalebound was a money burner, and that's the main reason why I think they had to cancel it because they saw that the amount of money it was costing them, how long
Yeah.
it'd been in development, and then we're gonna not sell that many copies of it.
Yeah, I do
Let's
think
not even bother finishing it.
no, I do think that's an out here hope. I don't think that happens ever. But one of the other guys actually, someone else that came back to me, or came back to us, which would be a Microsoft exclusive thing, was Steve Norman, the host of the Fail Critics podcast, said he'd like to see State of Decay 2. Now
I thought
this,
State of Decay 2 already existed.
the State of Decay 2 was announced at last year's E3 conference, last year's Microsoft E3 conference, if I remember rightly. So I wouldn't put a lot of money on it, but I would put money on State of Decay 2 being a launch title for the Scorpio.
Yeah,
Something, not a massive game, but a game that you could buy it that would come pre-packaged maybe, or cheap on the day the Scorpio comes out. Little download code, something to install on the day.
yeah, a day one game
Yeah,
basically.
I believe State of Decay belongs to Microsoft, or at least belongs to, is exclusive to Microsoft and PC, or Microsoft and Steam, or something along those lines. So it'll be a good one for them to have as a launch day title for Xbox Scorpio, which would also then come out on the One if they keep to their word. I would say that's definitely more likely to happen than Scalebound ever happening.
Speaking of Scorpio launch titles
Mhm.
and what we think are going to be, Forza 7.
That's almost guaranteed, isn't it?
Yep, Forza 7 is 100% going to be a Scorpio launch title. It will probably be one of the games that you get in every single box.
Yep.
You won't get a choice. You will buy if you buy a Scorpio, you will get Forza 7.
Which brings the question to mind: is Forza 7 going to be that one that proves that Microsoft have to say the words "better with Scorpio"?
Yes,
You reckon?
that's 100%. I mean, you look at the most recent versions of the Forza franchise, and graphically speaking, some of the things that they've been doing have been unbelievable with the tech that they've got to their hands.
Yeah.
But if they're gonna really bring out what looks like dynamic weather,
Yeah.
you need that power.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, what they've got in the Forza games is when it rains, the puddles appear in locations that are, well, designed by the track. So
Yeah.
they've gone around these tracks
They're preset.
in the weather and gone puddle here, oh, puddle here,
Okay.
puddle
Yeah.
here, and then they've put that into the game. So all of the puddles are preset. They just exist in that position
Yeah.
every time.
And they want to do that dynamically instead of having
want-
it fixed
yeah.
position. Okay. Yeah, you definitely need the power from. Well, I would say you probably need the power from the Scorpio for that. I do think, and I think this will come up again when we talk about Sony's conference. I do think there's going to be a lot of this. Will play on Xbox One and Xbox Scorpio would be better if you bought a Scorpio.
Yeah,
Get rid
please,
of your Xbox One, buy a Scorpio. You know it will be better.
please use a Scorpio, you
Yeah.
fucking idiots.
Exactly. I think there will be a lot of that.
But Scorpio's increased power plus the Microsoft Azure, cloud super internet power that they've got.
The power of the cloud.
Yeah, the super cloud power.
I'm definitely editing a shitload of bollocks from previous conferences into this podcast.
Cloud power.
With the power of the cloud. Fuck you.
Yeah. The power of the cloud plus the Scorpio super extra power
Yeah.
is going to make the next game that we're probably going to hear in Crackdown 3.
Yeah.
If we don't get a mention from Crackdown 3, then that's definitely going to get cancelled by Christmas.
Yeah, I do think you're right, and I would have said the exact same thing. If we don't hear the words Crackdown 3, and we don't see some gameplay, and this is another, and again, more for buy it on a fucking Scorpio, you bunch of mugs. It will be, this is Crackdown playing on a Scorpio. Look how beautiful it is. And with the power of the cloud, we've managed to do this. And I'm going to say it like that every time now.
Yep.
Like a shit wizard.
It's
The power of the cloud.
It's like the worst He-Man ever.
It's more like a shit wizard being played by Eddie Izzard. Yeah, but yeah, I think Crackdown 3, I would desperately hope Crackdown 3 gets announced and is shown off. Gets re-announced, gets announced as a Scorpio title, and is shown off. I do think you're right. I think if we don't see it by the end of the year, we get an announcement that actually, no, it's not being made because too much money.
Yeah. Wouldn't even be an announcement. It would just be like a casual news article at the bottom of a Major Nelson tweet or something.
Yeah.
It's just going to him tweet out and it says, oh, and by the way, Crackdown's cancelled.
I would be curious to know, remembering that I haven't played a Crackdown game, they never really appealed to me, but I've seen enough gameplay to know kind of what they look like. I would be curious to know how hard they push it in a year and in a conference where maybe not in press conferences, but in E3 in total, I think we're going to see a lot of Agents of Mayhem, which looks an awful lot like Crackdown.
Yeah.
It looks an awful lot like Saints Row does Crackdown.
Who's the publisher behind Agents of Mayhem again?
It's Volition. So it's the guys that made Saints Row. It's
Yeah.
set in the Saints Row universe. But I'm bringing Agents of Mayhem up a little bit later on. So I have notes for Agents of Mayhem.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm curious to see, because those two have very similar characteristics. And obviously Agents of Mayhem comes out in August, so there's going to be a big push from Volition to get out as much marketing gumph as they can to sell this game. I mean, they don't need to sell it to me. I've pre-ordered my copy already.
You're already playing it in your mind.
Well, it's Saints Row. Why would I not pre-order it? But anyway, back to Microsoft things. I really need to do this on video. You have no idea how much hand movement I use. Like, literally, I poke and prod at you. You just can't see it.
Nobody wants to see what you're doing with your hands, Brocker.
Masturbatory. You fucking asked for that.
Yep.
Anything else? Anything else you reckon we see or you'd like to see at Microsoft?
I reckon we will, because last we heard was Phil Spencer at Rare. I think it was late April.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, I think Sea of Thieves gets a lot of airtime.
I think Sea of Thieves gets its release date.
Yeah.
Possibly September.
Yeah, it's been getting a lot of playtime as well. A lot of people playing Sea of Thieves at the moment.
Yeah, that'll be either summer, late summer, early fall.
Yeah.
Release. Yeah, that'll be that little lull in the gaming universe where nothing happens.
Yeah, well, this is where Agents of Mayhem is going to shine because it comes out in the middle of August.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what about an out here kind of? What would you love to see that's never going to happen at Microsoft's conference?
Out there, but I'm not going to say I'm interested.
Okay.
Specifically, which is the next Halo remaster thing.
Okay.
Because we've had one, and did we have was 2 remastered?
2 was remastered for the Master Chief Collection.
Yes. So Halo 3 is the only one left.
Okay.
That isn't awesome source. You know,
okay.
Looks super pretty.
So do we think an announcement as a game, or do we think you own the Master Chief Collection, now take this update, and now you get Halo 3 Anniversary Edition?
Maybe.
So Halo freebie.
I tell you what, if they were to release Halo 3 Remaster, and it's not available for people with the Master Chief Collection as a free update, or even, I tell you what, a paid update would be acceptable. Yeah. But
a DLC unlock.
Yeah, a DLC unlock for £15, or if you don't own the Master Chief Collection, you can buy the game just like as a standalone for like 20 or something.
Yeah.
25.
Okay.
I don't know how much the anniversary editions go for.
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, people that are listening probably don't, but you know my opinion on Halo. It's very, very low down in my estimations. I don't care that much about Halo.
My opinion of Halo, I've started the first game very well since I bought the Master Chief Collection because it was like 11 quid or something during the sale. I think I'm about 4 or 5 missions into the first game and haven't played it since.
Okay.
I've completed the story Lasso on Halo 3.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed ODST, but I haven't played any of the other Halo games.
Fair enough. I think my out there thing would be I would like to see, and it will never happen because it won't sell, and it would never sell, which is why it will never happen. I would like to see some story DLC for Gears 4. I was talking to somebody at work the other day about Gears 4, and the more I talked about it, the more I was like, okay, yeah, it was shorter than all the others, and there were sections where I got quite bored, mainly from the main character. But I actually really, really enjoyed Gears 4, and and I think back, and of course you and I, we've been doing this a while now, so there's lots of games that I've talked about in the last few months where I've gotten halfway through and stopped for no reason, not because games are shit or they're not interesting. I just stop and move on. Gears I didn't do anything until I finished Gears 4.
Is it because you can't actually get halfway into Gears 4 because you get what you think is halfway
and
to stop and you actually finished it?
It does feel like that. To be fair, you are at the halfway point before it actually gets interesting. And I was very close to turning it off and going, fuck you, no. And then reveals and big things happen. But I would like to see more. I don't care about... I play Gears multiplayer. I'm relatively good at Gears multiplayer. I would play more if... I could be bothered, but I would love to see some Gears 4 story DLC. Or
You're more likely to see Gears of War Online, which is just a Gears of War multiplayer where they
yeah,
bring back all the maps.
I'm absolutely more likely to see Gears of War 5 than I am Gears
When was
4 story DLC.
Actually, yeah, you're probably right. Either this year or next E3 will be Gears of War 5
Uh,
announcement.
Early announcement this year, full gameplay reveal next year, with a November release next year.
Yeah, that'll be your Gears of War 5.
Yeah. So moving on from Microsoft is what I know is going to be your favourite.
Yeah,
And what's absolutely brilliant about this is that it's on at 5 o'clock Monday morning. So literally the time I would usually get up for work is when I will get up to watch the Bethesda show. So yeah, Bethesda's third annual E3 conference. What do you reckon, mate?
I reckon I will be asleep.
Fair enough. I will be doing the coverage of the Bethesda conference on my own.
No, I won't do that. I will remain professional.
Why? I'm
Not
not.
no. I will remain professional to the end in that I will accept the fact that Bethesda exist and I will do a podcast based on the conference because I am that kind of guy and I won't leave you to your own devices.
It would be bad just to leave me talking to thin air for half an hour.
Masturbatory.
Absolutely. I would just record for half an hour and leave it at that. I'm definitely leaving that in the edit.
You better. I don't want to be listening to it for no reason, folks.
I was going to have it on long loop at the end of the episode as well. Just 40 minutes of it.
Just instead of having the ending audio and credits, just have you making that noise with Owen talking over it.
So yes, we were saying professional. Wow. So Bethesda. What do you reckon? Do you have thoughts on Bethesda that aren't, I fucking hate Bethesda?
Don't they have a Quake game coming?
Yeah, so last year they showed Quake Champions, which I believe was a PC only, online only. It was basically Quake Unreal Tournament.
Yeah.
It was PC only, online only Quake multiplayer. Hero-based Quake multiplayer, which put me off a little bit. I haven't played any of it, but the beta has been going on for quite some time, and I know a few people that have played and said it is rather good. It's very clearly jumping on that Overwatch money.
Yeah.
I would bet that we get a full-blown release. I might be completely wrong, and they may already have released it, and I just don't know because I'm not a PC player. But if they haven't already released it, I would guess that we get an official release date. I would really like for Bethesda to go, it will also be on one of the consoles. I don't care which one it is, but I don't have a gaming rig, and I don't have room for a gaming rig, and I have a Mac, so Steam is flaky at best. So I would really like to not be playing PC games on my Mac if I could really help it. So I would really like them to say, yes, the beta is done and it's really good and it's coming out in September. September would be bad, but it's coming out in September and it's also going to be on PS4. That would be I would really like that. But yeah, we're definitely going to get some more Quake news.
Yeah.
But Bethesda's a weird one because of the way their games have been releasing. So last year, did you watch the Bethesda conference last year?
I remember the Prey section. I didn't watch the conference. I just watched the highlight show that someone put onto.
Okay. So at the beginning of the show, they'd done this kind of command line loading screen thing, and it listed a load of Wolfenstein games, and then had a Wolfenstein game that hadn't been announced yet, and then I think they had Quake Champions in the same CLI thing, and it was basically a soft announcement of a new Wolfenstein game. Literally to go, yes, there is Wolfenstein. But nothing else was said. So, to say I think we're going to get Wolfenstein shown this year would be stupid. I'm certain we're going to get Wolfenstein stuff shown this year. But
Another sequel to the New Order, maybe.
yeah, I think so. I think so. I really enjoyed the New Order and would like to see a sequel for it. And there was clearly a market for more because they'd done the Old Blood, which was a standalone expansion, if you like, which was set before the New Order. And the Old Blood was really good as well. I quite enjoyed that too. So I'll definitely take more of the same. And I think it's something that, oh, pardon me, I think it's something that Bethesda and id and everybody involved in all of these games, is it Machine Games, I think, that makes Wolfenstein? They've all taken this approach where the game doesn't have to be long, complicated, it just needs to be fun. So this is something that Machine Games have done well with the two Wolfenstein games. It's something that id blew everybody away with Doom, last year. Did you ever play Doom?
No, I didn't get around to Doom last year.
$8.99 on Amazon. It's worth it just for the soundtrack. I may even buy you a copy and have it sent to your house just so you can play it. But anyways, yeah, so if we can have more of that, if we can have more fun, you feel like Superman in these games. You run through and you blow the shit out of everything, and you come out at the end having felt like you literally kicked the world's ass. It is an amazing game, an amazing experience. I would definitely take more of that. Outside of that, I think we had a couple of reveals / leaks today as we record. So I think the leak was, I think, Fallout 4 VR DLC or Fallout 4 VR add-on.
Something VR-y with Fallout, yeah.
And Elder Scrolls 6, I think they mentioned. Frankly,
I know that there's a plan in place for a new Elder Scrolls Fallout family RPG title, which is supposed to be sci-fi.
Okay,
based.
That would be interesting.
I know that the rumors exist around that one from the Elder Scrolls Fallout developer. It's like a space RPG, I think.
Okay, so Obsidian.
I don't know what they're called.
Okay.
On Obsidian, the one guys that do the.
I think they made Fallout New Vegas, but I also think they made South Park.
I swear Obsidian did Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Okay, I did not know that. I really didn't know that. But
now I'm concerned because I don't know who makes certain games that I actually can claim to be a big fan of.
I think that's okay. I think when you get to a point, and I don't think it's like an age thing or like a maturity thing, or just at a certain point when you're talking to your mates about games and you start talking a bit more in depth, you suddenly start noticing these things. It's a bit like I'd done it years ago with films. You go, oh, I really liked Bad Boys. Oh, I really liked The Rock. They were very similar films. Oh, look, they were made by the same motherfucker. Things like that. You just start to notice stuff like that. Same as you notice like support actors and producers and things like that. I think it's okay to not necessarily know, which is why I end a lot of my sentences sounding like it's a question, because usually it is, because I don't fucking know. I am an imbecile.
You are. They did make Knights of the Old Republic 2 and Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, okay.
And The Stick of Truth.
Yeah. I thought so. They're not making The Fractured But Whole, though, are
they? No.
Fair enough.
Oh, they made Dungeon Siege 3. That game was shit.
Yes, it was. They also made Alpha Protocol.
Nobody made Alpha Protocol.
Alpha Protocol does not exist. It didn't happen. It's a figment of everyone's imagination. This enormous mass delusion that Sega put out a shit RPG. But yeah, my thing with Bethesda. So last year, I think we got a little bit of Prey last year, didn't we? We got some Dishonored 2. Both of those games obviously already are out now. Dishonored 2 has been for quite some time, and Prey a couple of months by the time conference rolls around.
So Prey DLC or Dishonored 3?
I don't think Dishonored 3. I think it's too early for Dishonored 3. I do reckon Dishonored DLC.
Or both?
Maybe
Prey and
both.
Dishonored.
Prey might be a bit soon. Maybe
No.
not. Well, what I mean is, like, so a lot of these games developers, they make their game and then they start working on DLC and they announce the DLC really early. But Dishonored, it was months before we got DLC details. Months. And the first bit of DLC details we got was the fucking trials. It was basically time trials on arenas in Dishonored. It was nothing big or special, and it was months more before we got the story DLC detailed. I think that this would be a perfect time to go, okay, so everybody loved Dishonored 2, here's some story DLC. Possibly Prey as well, but I do think, especially because it's Arcane and it's Bethesda, I think it might be a bit early. Either way, the very second I see the Arcane logo, I will be muting my television and leaving the room. Any live tweeting that I might be doing will fucking stop, because I have finished neither Dishonored 2 nor Prey, and I do not want the fucking stories ruined. Dishonored 2 and Prey are both on a list of games that I need to finish the week after E3, because I'm off work and just dusting around the house. So they need to keep their traps shut until then. But no, I think we'd possibly see DLC for those two.
Maybe even DLC that ties the universes together.
That would be interesting. That would be very interesting.
Kind of like it's a small world within the Prey universe that contains the Dishonored universe in like a dome a la Westworld style.
Yeah. I could live with that. That would not be the worst. But yeah, I don't think there's much. I don't think Bethesda, to say they've got just a load of old stuff they're just going to rehash and reshow, is unfair, because things like Fallout and Elder Scrolls have a massive fan base, much bigger than the games of theirs that I love. But I'm just not that interested in
I don't
Fallout or the Elder
understand
Scrolls.
how Bethesda can get like an hour and a half long conference when the only games that they announce are fucking Elder Scrolls and Fallout.
We'll have some Morrowind stuff, because is Morrowind out or due to be out soon? The Morrowind
online.
expansion for Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
So we'll
I
see.
was going to say, isn't Morrowind the name of Elder Scrolls 3 or something?
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see that. I think they've got enough stuff to fill an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Oh, Evil Within 2.
Ooh. Now there, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see that. I would not be surprised. A lot of people calling out for it. It's been enough years since the first one. Good shout.
Just
Really?
throw that one out there.
Really good shout.
I would have held that one back for what are you looking forward to, and would probably then, realised, hang on, no, not actually looking forward to anything.
But yeah, I think, yeah, even with Evil Within, I think they've got enough to give a decent amount of content for an hour and a half. It's just whether or not I can stay awake and stay interested for that hour and a half to 2 hours. And again, not because they make shit games. They just make games. A lot of their fan base, or a lot of their game base, is games that don't really interest me. But I mean, I know this might be a silly question because you're not a Bethesda fan, but any out here requests? Anything you'd really love to see that's never going to happen? Do not say the closure of Bethesda Softworks.
Damn it, I was literally just about to say that. Oh, you know me too well, Mr.
I do.
Brooks.
Is that your out here guess? Yeah, we're not making any more games.
We're quitting.
We're quitting.
We've had a good run, but, we're not going to make any more money.
Fair enough.
Actually, no, you know what? No, I don't want them to quit and, to close. I want them to finally admit that they're consistently making broken games and that they will start making games that work.
Wow, that they're more likely to close. Good answer though.
Yeah.
Good answer. Doom 2 or Doom more. I don't know what they would
Rage
call it.
2.
I would definitely take. I would take another, even just like last year's Wolfenstein one, just a cheeky little, not really an announcement, but we're definitely making more Doom because I fucking loved Doom.
Or just a DLC to Doom, like the what? Wait, what was it the Old Blood or the New Order? Which one was the DLC? Which one was the actual?
New Order was the new game. The Old Blood was the expansion.
Yeah, there we go. A Doom expansion.
Yeah, I mean, because I will make you play it one day.
Oh,
I won't ruin anything, but there is a lot of stuff in Doom that ties back to the original Doom games. So I wouldn't say no to playing prequel stuff for the new Doom game. I wouldn't say no to that because, excuse me, there'd be a lot of, story crossover now. That would be very cool.
Doom expansion featuring Karl Urban and The Rock.
That would be amazing. Just even if they just came as multiplayer skins, I would definitely take that. So yeah, Bethesda's here, 5 o'clock Monday morning. That's going to be a tough one. Then, okay, let's touch on this one really briefly because I don't want to sound like a complete cunt. But we are going to touch briefly on 6 o'clock Monday evening is the PC gaming show. Again, this is the third year we've had a PC gaming show. Have you ever watched one of these shows?
I didn't know the PC gaming show existed until 30 seconds ago.
Mate, they are the most boring, most self-absorbed show.
Masturbatory.
Masturbatory. But it is definitely saying something. I mean, all of these presses, they're all about advertising their own stuff. They're all about talking about their market share and how much they've sold and how their game is the best game since the last time their game was the best game. The PC gaming show takes all of these other shows, combines them into one and multiplies them by about 12, and that is the level of just up its own arse these people are. And considering we've just had announcements from like last week, we had Intel announce all their new processors. So Intel have just announced a bunch of i9 processors and the X range, so i5, i7 and i9X. If I remember rightly, PC gamers that are listening, I apologise profusely if I've got that wrong. I'm pretty sure I've got it right. So it's just going to be a load of, here's a game. A bit like the Scorpio, here's a game. Here's a game when you run it on a 18-core i9. Here's a game when you run it on an 18-core i9 with two SLI'd Titan graphics cards. I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. I don't notice the difference. And all PC gamers are cunts.
I wouldn't go that far. But the views expressed by John Miller in this podcast do not necessarily represent the views of I'm going to just have to make that our tagline.
Yep, there we
You
go.
keep saying stuff that I have to say I didn't think that.
I will constantly say stuff like that because no one else is willing to do it.
I'm definitely not hanging around with you at EGX this year. You're going to get us both beaten up.
Please. They're fucking nerds.
So yeah.
Try as they could fight their way out of a goddamn paper bag.
Yeah, true. So
The
yeah.
only ones I'm scared of are the ones who are running to the Call of Duty stand.
I don't know. Yeah. They just
Motherfucker.
sweat on you.
They want their Doritos and they want their Mountain Dew.
That
And
they
nothing
do.
will stop them from getting to it. That nerd rage.
Yeah. So yeah, I have no expectations, no interest or anything in the PC gaming show. To be fair, the only reason the PC gaming show will possibly be on is if it's on Jeff Keighley's E3 YouTube channel, and I just happen to have it on because it's E3 week.
Yeah.
I will not watch it on purpose, and not because I don't want to play PC. I'd love to be a PC gamer. I have no interest in people trying to sell me hardware. Not my thing. Sorry.
Things more interesting than the PC gaming show. Articles such as Britain's Got Talent, the biggest controversies of all time. Or Oasis reunion.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch the PC gaming show than be at an Oasis reunion. But yeah. So we're going to move swiftly on and pretend like the PC gaming show isn't going to happen. Because this one will guarantee to be, if nothing else, the most entertaining, because it usually is. And that is exactly the Ubisoft show. 9 o'clock Monday night, Ubisoft will be putting on their annual Girlwood extravaganza.
If Aisha Tyler's not presenting it, I'm turning it back off again.
What if Mr. Caffeine is presenting it?
I'd slightly almost acceptable.
Exactly. I would watch a Mr. Caffeine presented Ubisoft show. Now, Ubisoft, right? And I'm aware that I'm talking a lot, so I'm going to shut up in a sec. But Ubisoft are the epitome of what I was talking about earlier, with these companies trying to sabotage their own shows.
Yeah.
Because holy fuck, I already know everything that is coming out of the Ubisoft show. For fuck's sake. You know, their big surprise Assassin's Creed that was never going to be a fucking surprise in the first place has been ruined. They've purposefully announced Far Cry 5, and it looks to be the most interesting Far Cry game since 3. And they still somehow managed to fuck it up and announce it early.
No, hang on. It's not the most interesting one since 3, because Blood Dragon exists.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you have Blood Dragon.
And Blood Dragon came out after 3.
Blood Dragon is 3.
Blood Dragon.
Yeah.
Blood Dragon is the one. Blood Dragon is the only Far Cry game I've actually finished.
I finished 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and Blood Dragon. I finished, which means all of them except Primal. What was the Xbox 360 one? Was it Instinct?
Yeah.
Or Killer Instinct? Or no, it couldn't be Killer Instinct.
Far Cry Instinct.
Yeah, I've not played that. But yeah, the social media stuff I talked about earlier, the asking people what they wanted. Pretty much the only reaction we got for Ubisoft was, "Please, not more Assassin's Creed. Let it die."
Who said that?
Jack.
What?
I know.
Assassin's Creed's a staple to the Ubisoft franchise.
Well,
It's
not
their
only that,
biggest
it's
money
already
spinner.
been announced. You can't hope that they're not going to announce it when it's already been announced. Jack, I love you, dude, but no. But yeah, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, almost certainly something that says Tom Clancy on it.
I believe we will probably get either an announcement for Rainbow Six Siege Season 3, more to do, or Rainbow Six Siege more stuff for the multiplayer events that they have later on in the year.
Okay.
Or possibly even Rainbow Six Siege 2.
Okay. What's Siege now? Siege 2 years old now?
Yes, Siege is going into midway through season 2. I think.
If we're midway through Season 2, I would bet that they announce maybe a low-key Season 3?
Yeah.
And Siege 2. But Siege 2 will possibly be... it'll be like the Ghost Recon Wildlands from 2 years ago. It will be an announcement, but you won't actually see it for another 2 years, at least.
Yeah, probably. Well, Rainbow Six Siege was announced at the same time, the same E3 as the next-gen consoles, and it still took 2 years to come out in the first place.
Yep. So, no Watch Dogs, because we have Watch Dogs in the last fiscal year.
Yep. The Crew.
You reckon we get the Crew 2?
The Crew 2.
The 2 Crew? 2 Crew for you?
Yeah, probably.
I hate myself just for saying that. Because everybody that heard it heard me say it with the number 4. And the letter U. Like phones for you.
Yeah.
I even did the hand gestures. Oh god, I hate myself.
You should.
Everybody else hates me too. Fuck.
Possibly some more For Honor multiplayer stuffs.
You know, I haven't heard much of For Honor since it came out.
Might be a DLC for Honor. Isn't For Honor's mostly based on 3 different factions: Vikings, Knights, and Samurai, or something stupid like that.
Yes.
They might. Is there another?
I don't know.
Do Roman soldiers count as different?
I don't know.
Would that work? Greeks, possibly, or some kind of barbarian.
Greeks, bunch of people in togas.
Yes.
It'd be awesome. Be like Caligula, without the sex. It wouldn't, because Caligula's Roman. But still.
No, you're right on that one. Yeah, a 4th faction possibly, the Greeks or the Romans maybe, just to tie people over.
Yeah. I will be a little sad if we don't get something announced for Honor, only because for the last few years we've had that dude with the awesome beard come out and talk about For Honor, and I love him, and I want to see more of him, and I definitely want them to announce him as playable DLC.
He probably is just the entirety of all of the Vikings.
But yeah, the crew. I mean, it would be nice. Like last year, they threw a curveball at the end, didn't they? Or tried to. And
Ubisoft throwing a curveball?
Well, they tried. They came out with something that nobody had seen, and it was a surprise, and it was steep.
True.
The sad fact of it was, it just looked like shit SSX. And funny enough, when it came out, it was shit SSX. It would be nice to see something different, or something that hasn't been announced or spoiled, or, you know, anything like that would be nice. I reckon we get to see some Far Cry 5 gameplay that will really piss off the fucking dickheads online.
All of the Midwest Americans.
Yeah, man, it's amazing.
The only people who are offended by this are the people who it's trying to offend.
Yep. The people who for years have said, get over it, it's just a game, when we've killed lots of black people.
Yeah.
So, motherfuckers, get over it, it's just a game. But, yeah, I don't know. Ubisoft is always entertaining, it's always worth talking about, but this year it just seems like I know everything that's coming. I don't even know why we got things like a Far Cry announcement. Far Cry is not due until February next year, so why couldn't that wait till E3?
Maybe they've got that much planned for other things.
Yeah. I mean, Ubisoft do a lot of live gameplay, which is good. So, you know, hopefully see some Assassin's Creed, that'd be nice. It would be nice to come out at the end of the Ubisoft conference and go, I really quite fancy that Assassin's Creed game. It's really piqued my interest. It would be nice to come out and say that. But I don't know, mate. I don't know.
The Division 2.
You reckon?
I think we might see at least a trailer or an announcement of The Division 2. I'm just trying to think of all of the franchises that are available right now on Ubisoft that is for the reason to why Far Cry 5 and Assassin's Creed were just thrown out there.
Well, Assassin's Creed was accidentally on purpose leaked, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was an accidental on purpose leak. One of the will wet your whistle. But Far Cry 5 being an actual announcement was a bit silly buggers unless they've got a big list of games.
Yeah.
But if
that
Ghost
big list
Recon
of games ends in
Ghost Recon DLC.
Yeah, Ghost Recon DLC, that's been churned out relatively regularly. That is a weird sentence.
Yeah.
It's been churned out, you know, there's been a fair amount of it.
Okay, maybe not so much DLC, maybe an actual expansion.
Yeah.
What other big staple games are there? Apart from The Division. No, we've had a Watch Dogs. Maybe they've got a new IP in the lines.
That'd be nice. New IP to go with their nice shiny new logo, which isn't really that new.
How about End War 2?
Oh, God.
Wait, does End War already have an End War 2?
End War was the console voice-controlled RTS game, wasn't it?
Yes, that was set in the same half universe as
Hawks
and Ghost Recon
Future Soldier.
Advanced Warfighter 2.
Okay.
I think it
wasn't Hawks. Wasn't Hawks then? It was Graw 2, because Hawks was the same universe as Future Soldier.
In that case, I'm pretty sure it might have been Hawks, because I'm pretty sure I say the same universe. What it really was it was literally just a single map involved, where you have planes fly over the top.
Yeah.
At one point.
Well, there you go. How about Hawks 3?
Hawks 3. We haven't had name another. Ace Combat is the only other still surviving plane combat game.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, I don't want to play Hawks 3. But yeah.
Hawks 1 was okay. Hawks 1 was good.
I liked Hawks 1. Hawks 1 was a lot of fun. Hawks 2 fucked it up completely.
I didn't even remember Hawks 2. I didn't even play Hawks 2, I don't think.
Oh, I did. I think I've told the story before. My youngest brother is a massive flight, like plane combat game fan. I mean, he plays like Flight Sim and that as well, but he loves Hawks and IL-2 and all that kind of stuff. He loves it. So, because it, excuse me, because at the time we didn't have that many people to play with, I was like, yeah, I've got, spare few quid. I'll buy it and I'll play it with you. And like Hawks 1, I played from start to finish, and then I played online with him a lot. And then Hawks 2, I played and went, yeah, bruv, this is dog shit. I'm not playing this anymore. No, but it's good. No, it's not. Fuck off. It's just not. But no, I don't know. I'm annoyed that we're talking about Ubisoft, and it should be a really interesting conversation about Ubisoft, and it just feels like they fucked it up for themselves, not just for us.
Yeah, Ubisoft really did shit the bed a little bit with their announcements.
Yeah.
But here's hoping they actually go, you know what? There's a reason to why we've thrown all this crap out, because we did a time and we couldn't fit Far Cry in because we've got, and then I don't know, left field choice, a new Splinter Cell game.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, I'll let you have that. I'll definitely let you have that. I don't know if I have a left field choice for Ubi. They're so bland, and bland's unfair, but they're so predictable with a lot of their stuff.
What other Tom Clancy games are there?
So we've got Splinter Cell, Division, Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon, Hawks,
End War. I tell you what, I will accept having Mr. Caffeine as long as Tom Clancy games have a big thing at the Ubisoft.
Yeah.
So we could just have him going Tom Clancy.
Yeah. I would. Yeah, okay, so I'll tell you what, my left field choice, I would like another Ghost Recon Future Soldier. I know Ghost Recon Future Soldier didn't impress a lot of people. I really, really liked Future Soldier a lot. I was a big fan of Future Soldier. I would take more of that happily.
Bring back the Gunsmith.
Yep. Gunsmith, I believe. Gunsmith is in Ghost Recon.
Is it the Kinect Gunsmith, where you can explode the guns and rotate them out?
I don't believe so, but mainly because I don't have a Kinect anymore.
Bring back Kinectimals.
Yeah. I tell you what, actually, my left field choice, my completely out here choice for Ubisoft, on Blood Dragon 2.
Yeah. All right.
Blood Dragon 2 is my left field choice for Ubisoft.
Wait, don't Ubisoft have a dance game?
Just Dance.
Yeah.
That they bring out every year.
That's what's going to be taking a big chunk of their time. They'll have Usher come out again to dance.
Will it be Usher, or will it be somebody I don't recognise? Do I get to show my age by live tweeting the Ubisoft thing and going, I don't know who this is?
They will have the Britain's Got Talent winners, the first ones, the diversity.
Oh, God.
They'll have Just Dance Diversity Edition, where it's a group dance, Just Dance, dance.
No. Just no.
With dancers.
I'm not doing that.
And that'll take 10 minutes.
That's alright.
That's when you turn the kettle on.
Yeah.
And you make the next coffee.
I think I'm all done with Ubisoft, mate, unless you've got something else to...
I think we're all done with Ubisoft
Yeah.
after Just Dance.
forever. We're all done with Ubisoft just completely.
Yeah, no more.
Which brings us on to what is always the big test when it comes to people like me and sitting up watching all the E3 conferences. The Sony conference, which doesn't start officially until 2 a.m. on Tuesday.
Yep.
I will not say 2 a.m. in the morning.
2 a.m. in the morning.
I am not a cunt.
Masturbatory.
So it starts 2 o'clock Tuesday morning. Officially starts 2 o'clock Tuesday morning. Every year I've watched this, it actually means it doesn't start until about 2:30, sometimes 3.
Yep.
There have been years where they've been more than 45 minutes late starting.
Oh yeah, it's one of the reasons why I always enjoy watching the Sony conference. You know, when it's after it's been on, because I'll flick it on. It says watch the Sony conference. You click play. You grab the scroll bar. You fling forward by an hour, and then you press play, and suddenly someone's on the stage.
But so Sony's the big one. You know, for the guys that sit up all night watching these things, because it's always the challenge. It's an endurance test to get through to the end. I have lots of stuff to say about Sony, but an awful lot of it is negative, I think, this year. So Tell you what, why don't you go first, Mr. Miller? What do you think about the Sony conference this year?
I'm thinking Sony will focus because they've done the hardware side
Yep.
recently with the PSVR, the the PS4 Pro, the slimline PS4. So this one will be all games,
Yeah.
and so I'm thinking we're gonna see their probably see their chummy, exclusive rights to the Acti games. So we'll probably get Call of Duty World War Two,
Yep.
Destiny 2, and I don't know uh, when the PS4s were announced, they had GTA. So oh wait, Rockstar are going are pally with Xbox for the Scorpio that for Red Dead Redemption.
Are they?
I think so.
Rockstar have always been very Sony focused.
Yeah, but I think with the whole Scorpio thing, they've gone. You know what? Let's better with Scorpio.
Okay. You think Rockstar and Red Dead 2 goes to the Xbox conference?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe just Red Dead going for the Xbox. I think the Rockstar they'll split the IPs, and I think GTA will stay with PlayStation.
Okay. Interesting.
Um, so there's obvious the Acti games, so Call of Duty, Destiny.
Yeah, we'll for sure get some Call of Duty. I think a little bit of single player. Uh, some zombies.
Yep,
Probably not an awful. I bet we get a multiplayer trailer,
yeah,
but no live multiplayer. I bet we get, like I say, maybe get some live zombies and a live demo for a mission, which does the same thing that Call of Duty does every year, which plays for 5 minutes and then has a thing that says "for the sake of time" and then skips forward 15 minutes and then finishes the mission.
yeah.
I think we'll have that. And yeah, you're right. Probably Destiny 2.
A couple of first-party titles, more VR. I'm thinking more VR DLC things like Fallout VR DLC
Okay.
going into PSVR maybe, and a
Okay.
couple of other titles that already exist will have VR updates
Yeah.
possibly.
Okay.
Um, what are we thinking? Another Naughty Dog Last of Us 2?
Well, I think we'll get some gameplay for the last. Maybe not a gameplay. Maybe a full trailer.
Yeah, rather than just Ellie singing.
Yeah. I mean, last year was clearly a trailer, and they very very clear in saying this is very very early in development. This is not ready for testing. This will not be out for a while. They were very clear in that. So I do think that we get something along those lines, and at best we'll actually see The Last of Us 2 end of 2018, beginning of 2019. But I do think we get a full teaser trailer. Seems like a weird thing to say, but last year's was a teaser trailer. It won't be like a story trailer. It'll be just a trailer with some in-engine stuff in it as well. Better on Pro.
Yeah.
And I think we get something very similar for. Do you remember last year's Days Gone?
Days Gone wasn't that
Sons of Anarchy,
the
Walking Dead.
yeah.
Yeah. Th- This is my thing with Sony this year, okay? Last year, I think they blew their load properly with new games.
Last year, a lot of their new games that they announced were all here's new games that are coming out in 4 5 years
This is
maybe.
it. So we had Last of Us 2, we had Days
Death
Gone,
Stranding.
Death Stranding. We definitely see more of Death Stranding. I bet I would put money on us actually seeing that at the end of the show. Maybe Kojima coming out and introducing it again. Maybe
Maybe
some gameplay.
no more
Or,
another Norman Reedus, Mads Mikkelsen, Guillermo del Toro video.
or maybe a proper trailer, something that isn't what is essentially a character introduction. Maybe a proper trailer. Somewhere along the line this year, I think we get an explanation-ish, because it's Kojima, as to what Death Stranding fucking is. Because no one fucking knows, and it's getting tough to keep the hype up for a game that no one knows what it is. I would like to see a trailer. I would kill to see some gameplay. I think we get an explanation from Kojima or Sony as to what Death Stranding is. Talking social media stuff, our good buddy Matt Lamborn, who from the Retro Gaming Discussion Show, for fuck's sake, I get it wrong every time. It's not like I don't listen to it or anything. Who was on our Resident Evil episode. He would like to see some more Death Stranding as well. I think we get to see a lot of Death Stranding, but yeah, we had last year, we had God of War.
Grandfather of War.
Yep, so we get to see a bit more of that, I bet. But again, we saw gameplay of that last year. We don't need to see more. You need to give me a release date.
A game from the Heavy Rain guys?
Well, yeah, they've got one, haven't they? Detroit, I think it's called.
Yeah.
We saw that last year as well.
Oh yeah, it's the Blade Runner-esque
It's
type.
Definitely Blade Runner. I mean, there's no two ways about it. It is definitely Blade Runner. But yeah, is it called Detroit Being
Something.
Human or Touching People or something? I don't know. It's got a stupid subtitle. I'm pretty sure it's called Detroit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be another Better on Pro.
Isn't Insomniac working on something? Aren't they working on a Spider-Man game?
Insomniac are doing Spider-Man PS4
Yeah.
again, announced last year at last year's E3. The other problem with Sony, of course, is Sony had their own event a couple of months after E3. Usually in August. They usually have one at Gamescom, don't they? They usually have their little thing at Gamescom where they show more stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a fine balancing act between what they're going to show at E3 and what they're going to show at Gamescom. And unfortunately, after what they showed at Gamescom and E3 last year, I'm not sure there's anything new to show.
No.
I think they're going to they will almost certainly definitely ignore the Vita. I think the Vita is gone. There will be no talk of the Vita. At very best, you'll get another indie splat of games.
And you'll get that fucking douchebag wearing the PlayStation branded American football jersey.
Yep.
Saying
Who
every
says
so often,
also
and
on Vita.
Yeah.
And I think, and I may cry if this happens as well, but I think PSVR gets the same treatment.
Yeah.
Because what have we
available on PlayStation and Vita and VR.
But what have we had for PlayStation VR the last couple of months?
Wasn't there a new game released not that long ago, or at least a new game announced very recently?
I don't know.
Farpoint?
Yeah, Farpoint came out. That was, and I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be a launch title. I may be wrong.
But it may have been supposed to have been a launch title, but they decided to hold it back by 8 months because they realised, hang on, we've got a load of launch titles, but nothing else planned.
Yeah.
So
let's
release it 8 months later and then close the studio.
Yeah, I mean, I adore my VR, but I haven't used it much because there hasn't been much out for it.
That's just VR in general at the moment, I think.
It is, which is a shame. I spent a lot of money on that, and I'd rather not have it sitting gathering dust. But I think, to be fair, if we get to Tuesday morning and they don't announce anything big or special for the VR, it might be taking a trip down to CEX. Or maybe going onto eBay. I'll get more money out of it on eBay.
Yeah. Speaking of VR,
yeah.
Completely left field. I have a Google Cardboard now.
Really?
Yeah.
How is it?
I tell you what, considering its sole purpose is just for watching videos in VR.
Yeah.
So I've so far, and not just videos. I tell you what, complete honesty, I got a free Google Cardboard from BT for the Champions League final.
Okay.
Because the Champions League final was streamed in VR.
Okay.
So
cool.
I watched that in VR, and it was weird but somewhat enjoyable to see because it actually kind of felt like you were in the stadium because it was full 360 degree.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
There was just a 360 degree camera just sitting there.
That's very cool.
Or rather, there were several 360 degree cameras, and you could actually pick which one you were standing at.
Yeah.
Or you could set it to auto, which would just go to the ones near to where the ball was.
Right.
I'm assuming there was a sensor to say where the ball was and to select. Or a very good director.
How's the porn on it?
I honestly I have no idea on the grounds that I'm pretty sure there isn't any free VR porn.
Okay.
Pretty sure at the moment it's still on you have to pay for it all.
Oh, fuck that.
Like how.
I'll wait till there's a category on YouPorn for it.
Like Blu-ray porn.
Yeah.
Back in the day, you couldn't get that good 1080p.
Multi-angle, bitch.
Yep. Back to the PlayStation stuff.
Yes.
Dreams?
The
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 Little
Little
Big
Big
Planet,
Planet
guys.
guys.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. And I would like to see that in VR because it uses the Move control and all that kind of shit. And I've got the whole thing, the VR, the Move, all of that. I'd like to give it a butcher's and have a go. But, again, that's been demoed 2 years in a row? Or spoken about at least 2 years in a row. Do we get something big and special like the orchestra for Dad of War last year?
Maybe.
Do we get something horrendously fucked up like the lights leading Kojima down to the stage, outrunning Kojima as he walked?
Possibly.
Bless him.
Probably get a reintroduction to the playroom. Or, no, wait. What's the weird creatures living inside your controller?
Yeah, playroom.
Okay.
The AR bots in the playroom.
Yep. But with VR.
There is already VR playroom.
Okay. Then I'm shit out of ideas, and probably Sony are too.
Yeah. I think this year will be very disappointing for Sony because they've got no hardware to advertise. They've got no hardware to announce. They've got a shitload of hardware they're not supporting anymore, and they've got a load of games that everybody already knows about.
GT Sport's another one.
Yeah,
There'll
true.
There'll be more of that.
True. Our mate Lee from the Mass Effect special,
Imaginary friendly.
said he would like to see, I think, Final Fantasy VII, he said, or some more Final Fantasy VII remake. Vita support. Funny.
More indie games on Vita.
Yeah. He did say something else, I can't remember what it was. And because I'm a complete professional, I definitely wrote it down, and I'm definitely not jumping onto Facebook to see what he said.
It was on. Oh, I was looking at Twitter because I assumed that's what he'd responded.
Oh shit, no. No, I'm pretty sure this one he responded on. There we go. Bit more on the Final Fantasy VII remake would be nice. DLC for Horizon, possibly, he says. Same as Prey. Maybe a bit too soon, but I wouldn't rule it out. But the same rules apply. I haven't finished Horizon yet. If they start talking story DLC, I will be pausing it, or muting it and legging it out the room so I don't have anything spoiled. But yeah, I wouldn't put it, because it's Guerrilla, and I think Guerrilla have realised they've sold enough Horizon, and a lot of people are massive fans. It's gotten a lot of love, so DLC would be a good way to get in some quick cash. Is a very mean way to say it, because Guerrilla work very hard. And yeah, would like to see some new IPs. I think yes, but probably all indie. I think we get to spend a lot of time talking about IPs that we already know about. And then he said Vita support, lol.
Maybe.
What about an out here kind of idea from Sony?
Go on then. Full on, right? I'm gonna blow your mind with this one.
Okay.
PlayStation Vita 2.
I have that on my list. Seriously, I have it on my
Yeah.
list of this shit will never happen, but I would love it if it did. The Vita
Yeah.
2 would be amazing.
Because the tech's improved dramatically since the Vita came out,
Yep.
especially in small scale. There are tiny processors that are now, as
Yep.
powerful as the PlayStation 4 is almost.
Yeah.
So, or possibly even after realizing their stupid mistake with the Pro, the PlayStation Super Pro.
The Super Pro. Please call it the Super Pro, Sony. Please.
Well, the PS3 Slim and Super Slim exist.
Be dicks, call it the PlayStation 1. That'd be amazing. I would definitely buy a PlayStation 1.
PlayStation 4 Pro S. Pros.
So I'll tell you my out here idea, and it can't happen if Guerrilla announce Horizon DLC. I want to see Killzone 5. I want more Killzone.
Okay. Yeah.
It's been a few years.
The new Killzone is this Killzone VR.
Oh god, I would definitely keep my VR for that, but that would be nauseating. But yeah, that would be my out here idea. I would really, really like to see some more Killzone. But I think, oh no, we've got one more to talk about.
Yes.
I almost said we're done, But
We're
no, we're
done
not.
without mentioning the other company that exist in the gaming world and
Yeah,
have existed in the longest amount of
yeah,
time.
longer than any of the others we've talked about so far. Uh, so Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, was it 5 o'clock our time? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, 5 p.m. BST is what my list says. Nintendo. The Nintendo. What did you say it was called? Spotlight.
Spotlight.
The Nintendo Spotlight. Uh, so I think like all their other. What do they call them? Nintendo Directs.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like all their other Nintendo Directs, which they do sporadically throughout the year when they've got new announcements and things. I think it's just going to be a bigger Nintendo Direct. Um, I'll be honest, I'm not clued up enough of what Nintendo have and haven't got to talk with any kind of, I don't know, expertise about what they might have. I mean, I can't talk with expertise about much, except, well, no, I was going to say except something. I can't think of anything. But I don't know. Is what's their shooting game called?
Um, good
The
question.
thing with the paint and the squids.
Splatoon.
Splatoon. Is Splatoon 2 out yet?
No?
Then we
No.
definitely see some Splatoon 2.
Yeah, Splatoon 2, Mario Odyssey.
Okay.
Is it called Odyssey?
Is it like
Super
Mario World?
Super Mario something. Pretty sure it's Odyssey.
Okay.
Monster Hunter 20. I'm just throwing numbers now because Monster Hunter's had so many fucking games that I'm just
Yeah,
throwing them 20. 20 seems like it's a good number. There's probably been 19 Monster Hunter games.
true. Zelda DLC?
I I don't imagine Nintendo will do that. They've not done DLC before.
No, okay.
They don't do it. They've only just started to do a subscription service for the online service.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll get a lot of news about that because that's all been finalised now, hasn't it?
Yeah, the $20 a year.
Yeah. So that'll all be explained to us. What about Hyrule Warriors 2?
Oh, the Legend of Zelda fighting game.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
because that seemed to go down very well. Again, and it's a bit like the PC thing. I'm not purposefully not paying attention, but because I don't own a Switch and I don't own a Wii U, uh, I don't need to look at these things. Or it's not that I don't need to. I just don't. I gravitate towards the Sony and PlayStation, the Sony and Xbox stuff because I own those consoles. But I do remember Hyrule Warriors going down very, very well. So Hyrule Warriors 2, I think, would be on my list of maybes.
Yeah.
But this is me grasping at straws. I don't know enough about Nintendo to know what's going to be coming.
Um, Trying to think what other Animal Crossing.
Okay.
Animal Crossing, whatever number they're on now. 3,
Yeah.
4. We haven't had there'll be one of those probably. I don't know. I don't think I've actually watched a Nintendo Direct or a Nintendo Spotlight at all, like ever.
I've watched a couple, not many, because they tend to be very focused on something that's due soon. So the Mario Kart Nintendo Direct, or Super Mario World Nintendo Direct, or something like that. They're not things that I go out of my way to watch because I don't own the consoles that they're going to be played on.
Yeah.
It's easier for me to just read up later if it turns out that something interesting actually happened. And I listen to like enough gaming podcasts to get the gist of what may or may not have been said without actually having to take time out of my day to watch people make fools of themselves on a green screen. Says the man who's taken time off of work to watch E3.
Yeah.
I am very
I wasn't
aware of
gonna
how
say it.
stupid that makes me sound.
EA Sports FIFA Switch version.
You reckon?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they've already confirmed FIFA's coming to Switch, and the way that they announced it being EA Sports FIFA and not FIFA 17/18, whichever one it's going to be,
So EA Sports FIFA means
it's the same as what the Vita one was, which
Yeah.
was, I think it's pretty sure EA have practically confirmed that the Switch version is not going to have the Frostbite engine.
Is that because the Switch can't handle the Frostbite engine, or because they just don't want to?
I maybe they just want to have a home for the Ignite engine, considering how much time and effort they put into the Ignite engine, only to use it for 1 year.
Okay, yeah, fair
So they
enough.
thought might as well get their money out of it. But then again, the Switch is an Xbox 360 in power.
Yeah, okay.
Um, I'm going to glaze over this one pretty quickly because I know how much you hate the franchise, but Pokemon.
Okay, so what? No, because I've brought this up a couple of times when we've spoken about the Switch in the past, haven't I? So it's not that I hate the franchise; I just don't play it and don't see the fucking point. But many people say that about the franchises that I love, so it's okay. So do we reckon Pokemon on the Switch or Pokemon on the newly announced 2DS?
There's a newly announced 2DS. I know the 2DS already existed.
Yeah, because the 2DS is the flat one that doesn't fold, isn't it?
Yeah, is
Right.
there a now folding
I
2DS?
believe it's a folding 2DS.
So basically, the Nintendo DS is just getting a new version of it.
Yeah, but because they have a 3DS, they can't just call it a DS. It has to be a 2DS because marketing.
Why not just buy a 3DS and just turn the Switch to off?
Because you can sell it slightly cheaper if it doesn't have 3D technology in it.
I suppose, but yeah, the
Why am I
probably
defending these twats?
yeah.
Fuck's
I'm
sake.
gonna go with Pokemon Sun and Moon 2
Would that be on the Switch or on the 2DS?
on the 2DS.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no way that they might release a Pokemon game onto the Switch, but it won't be a main Pokemon release. It'll be a Pokemon party piece.
Okay.
Be like I don't know, they have mystery dungeon games, which aren't main Pokemon games, or Pokemon Stadium spiritual successor. They think they had Colosseum was the most recent one that they had,
Okay.
or Pokken Tournament.
What the fuck is Pokken Tournament?
Pokken Tournament is a Pokemon fighting game.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
it's exactly how it sounds. I don't think Pokken Tournament actually has a console release. I think it's exclusive to arcades.
Okay, fair
And
enough.
I'm not entirely sure if they are in arcades outside of Japan.
Which would explain why I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Uh, but complete, I don't believe there'll be any real mentioning of Switch stuff for Pokemon. Otherwise, it's there's far too much time and effort has gone into sorting out this generation of Pokemon games onto the 3DS and 2DS
Kills their
just
mobile
before.
market.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
they can't kill off the mobile market just yet. There's
Portable
still
market, I should say, because it's not mobile phones, is it? It's the
yeah.
portable consoles.
There's still the 2DS will have the same lifespan as any other handheld console, which will be 3 years.
Yeah.
So the folding 2DS will be 3 years, so it will be 2020 at the earliest before we see Pokemon on Switch
Okay.
as an actual game.
What about remembering, of course, that the Switch is in fact a portable console?
I'm aware the Switch is a portable console,
No,
but
but what I mean is, obviously Pokemon is generally a portable game for 2DS and 3DS and just
yeah,
DS in general and Game Boy and whatever. The Switch is technically a portable console that's dockable.
true.
So
Okay, so the
would that
the
make it
general
such an out here idea for them to have Pokemon on it?
the Pokemon cycle is about 2 years between each game. So
Okay.
with Sun and Moon 2 or whatever they decide to call them, because they don't normally go and bust out the same names multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm so yeah, 2019, 2020,
Okay.
we will get the next round of Pokemon games.
Fair
And
enough.
assuming Switch still exists
Yeah.
and they haven't gone Switch 2 or Switch U
Fair
or
enough.
and they
Switch
actually
U2.
go, hang on, we should probably release a console that's capable of doing 1080p.
Right now, some of the people that are listening that have a Switch going, it fucking does. Fuck
Only if
you.
you plug it into a TV.
Okay, so what about an out here suggestion for Nintendo? Something that will never ever happen that you would like to see happen.
An actual
I tell you what, actually, let's change the question slightly. What could they do at E3 this year that would make you go out and buy a Switch the day after the presentation?
okay, I wouldn't say the day after the presentation, but upon release of said game would be Smash Brothers.
Fair enough. Probably the same here.
Smash Brothers plus the fact that their online seems to be a bit better would definitely make me consider picking one up because it's the only game franchise that I would buy a console for. I bought my Wii based on the fact that I could play Smash Brothers Brawl.
Yeah.
Although I ended up importing an American copy because it took another fucking 18. No, it took 9 months after the American release for it to come out over here, and the
Jesus.
American release was 3 months after the Japanese release.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
fuck that.
I imported the American copy and
Yeah.
a freeloader disc.
Yeah.
You know,
Fair
going
enough.
old school. And then when the European PAL version was released, I bought that as well, and then plugged it into my Wii to find out that the game save doesn't transfer between the regions. So I immediately went, well, fuck this, put the game back into the case, and just kept using the freeloader version because I had all of the characters unlocked.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I think Smash Brothers would probably be the out here. Would make me buy a Wii U Switch thing.
Wii U to Switch.
Yeah. But that's all of it, mate.
Yeah, I think we've covered everything. We've covered E3.
I tell
Now
you
we don't
what.
need to wake up in the morning.
No, we don't. I tell you what, then. A couple of let us know give us a couple of things you'd like to see at E3. Maybe like in the between conference shows or stuff that's on the show floor that maybe like GameSpot and IGN get their hands on. Stuff that what do you want to see that you know is coming soon that they're going to show there?
Shit. More Marvel vs. Capcom.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
The Marvel vs. Capcom stuff and the next Middle Earth game, the Shadow of War,
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, Shadow of War.
the Warner Brothers Monolith one.
Yeah.
Cool. I think I'd like to see more. I'd like to see a fair amount of, because it's like I said earlier, it's due in August. I'd like to see a lot of Agents of Mayhem. Probably because it's my most anticipated game of the year now. Now that we've gotten Prey and Horizon out of the way, that's probably it.
What about Cyberpunk 2077?
I would like to see Cyberpunk 2077. I'd like to see it in action. Just mainly because it's the first RPG, actual proper RPG, that's interested me in a long time. So, yeah, I'd like Agents of Mayhem, yeah, Cyberpunk. I don't care who gets it. I'd like to see some gameplay for Red Dead, even though it's been delayed.
Yep. Yes,
But-
it has.
But yeah, that's our E3, mate. So should we talk a little bit about what we're going to do for E3? Because obviously we've said we're going to do certain things, but we've not actually laid out what we're doing. So after each conference this year, and depending on how successful we are and how many people listen and if people like it and if we can fucking handle it, and assuming we're still going this time next year, we might do it again. But the plan for this year, for people that are attached to the Fail Critics podcast feed, is we are going to spam the shit out of the Fail Critics podcast feed for the next few days. So at the end of every conference, almost immediately, we're going to get online and we're going to do a quick Skype call and just a quick and dirty take on what we've just seen. So, EA, what did we say EA was? 8 o'clock Saturday night, something. That'll finish about 10. So not long after, time to go take a piss and get a cup of coffee, and we'll jump online and we'll have a quick Skype call and we'll talk about what we've just seen. Now the plan is then for our shows to be half an hour, 40 minutes,
Yep.
ish,
Unedited.
more or less unedited. I mean, I do get the feeling that towards the end of the 4 days, it will just be lots of tired groaning that I will have to edit out because no one wants to fucking hear that. But essentially, as much as it pains me to say these very words, but instant hot takes on what we've just watched. Quick jump on, chat about what we've watched, edit it, send it straight off to the RSS feed, and hopefully, within a couple of hours of the show finishing, there will be a podcast on the feed for you to have a listen to and to let us know what you think. Just if you want to know what we thought of the show. At the same time, one of us at least will be live tweeting each show, I guess, from the Character Unlock.
Can I do
Twitter
the
account.
Bethesda one?
No,
Oh,
you cannot do the Bethesda one.
You're ruining it for everyone.
I'm the only cynical cunt that's allowed to do anything like that. So someone's got to be the voice of reason, and it can't be me, because
I can be the voice of reason to the Bethesda. My reason is shut up, Bethesda.
It will make everyone uncomfortable if I'm the normal one. So I don't know who's going to be doing what. I'm assuming we will organise it probably about 5 minutes into each conference as to who's going to be live tweeting. But yeah, someone will be live tweeting from the Character Unlock account their thoughts as we go on. Hopefully, I mean, if all goes to plan, it should be quite cool. I'm very excited. It's the first time I've been excited for E3 for quite some time, because I have been a little jaded the last couple of years, going, oh god, why am I sitting up till silly o'clock in the morning? And, you know, I think last year we got to Sony's conference and it was running late, and I went, no, I'm going to bed, fuck you. And got up the next morning and watched it on YouTube afterwards, which was much more fun. But, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it, as I hope you are.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm doing the Bethesda one. I'm just getting the poop emoji ready.
Fair enough. I'll let you have the Bethesda one then.
Yay. You can do the Bethesda one. I just might take over occasion and just throw the poop emoji in between your tweets.
I'll just do the same when EA start talking about FIFA.
That's fine.
Just piss everybody off by keep calling it soccer.
Yes. FIFA Soccer 18.
Yeah. So that's I think that's our plans. And hope, you know, if all goes well, that starts tomorrow night as this podcast goes out. Psyching myself up for it already.
Yeah, you mad man.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Luckily, you know, I've got some time off that week, but that'll be fun. But yeah, so that's our E3 plans. Hopefully, everybody sticks with us and they enjoy it and we're entertaining. I can't promise that we're not going to be tired and offensive and offensively tired, because all of those things are definitely going to happen.
Yep.
And someone will do something that will really piss me off, and I will definitely have to vent about it, and I'll be doing it at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, and it will really be horrible. But yeah, hopefully it all goes well. So yeah, until then, mate. Until then, because I think we're about ready to wrap up.
Yeah, I'd definitely say we're ready to wrap.
So until we start doing this insane E3 stuff, my friend, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter as the John_CU and on Xbox Live as Long Dong Silver.
Cool. I am at Brooker411 on Twitter, where I am bitching and moaning about everything just everything. And I write for and podcast with Failed Critics a fair amount, so you can find me there. And yet, for the duration of E3, you will find us regularly on Twitter and Facebook at Character Unlock, and Instagram. My apologies.
Yep.
Keep forgetting we have an Instagram account, and
I keep forgetting that too.
Yeah, so at Instagram as well. So at Instagram, on Instagram at Character Unlock, and hopefully you'll join us tomorrow and Sunday and Monday and Tuesday for our several very short hot takes on E3. Do please come and join in the conversation, because hopefully it will be a good, fun couple of days. But yeah, until tomorrow, we will see you later on. Say goodnight, John.
Good night, John.
Let's go back in time, shall we? Hey, want to come over and play my Wii? There you go. Yeah. Tom Clancy Ghost Recon. Everyone do it with me. Tom Clancy Ghost Recon. There you go. Let's go back in time, shall we? Yikes! Here, hold my Joy Wand. Hey, want to come over and play my Wii? There you go. Yeah. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. Everyone do it with me. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon. There you go. Let's go back in time, shall we? Yikes! Yes, I'm not afraid of a few dick jokes, thank you. There you go.